What if I told you you can have everything that you want, but you are stopping you? My video has found you in just the right time for the new year, because what you do comes from what you are. So what are you? That is the question. I want you to level up so high that the old you doesn't recognize who the new you is. Disclaimer. I have a disclaimer. Let me read what it is. I need to warn you. Once you become this better version of yourself, you cannot throw it away. You cannot go back to your old bad habits because those belong to the old you, the you that did not accomplish your dream life last year. So how do you stop yourself from slipping back to the old habit? Let's stop wasting time and dive into it. Now, we're not going to announce this to anyone. Your results will speak so loudly by the time you do all the work in this video. You are going to shock yourself. And you deserve to be shocked because you've been wanting this for such a long time. What's going to happen is we're going to do the work for the next 90 days in silence. And step 1 is super important for you to be able to stick with this. Once you don't make excuses, get lazy, or stop, you will see results eventually. And then you're going to thank me because you are going to see how unrecognizable you have become. Okay, so here's the number 1 thing that's going to stop you from quitting and giving up on yourself. Number 1, let people wonder what you're doing. Yes, I know. Trust me, this is important. It's not what you were expecting, but bear with me. It's not your duty to update people on the daily happenings of your life. You don't need to share your plans with anyone because you don't need their validation to improve your life. You don't need to feel good that somebody approves, and you definitely don't need to be discouraged when people think that it's a joke. Oh, you're never going to stick with that. You don't need to justify or explain yourself to anyone, okay? Especially not those haters. Marcus Aurelius said, waste no more time arguing about what a good person should be. Be one. So lead by example with your effort and with your results. Don't waste time debating with people who don't get it in the first place. I don't know your life, but let's pretend that everyone that thinks you owe them an explanation, they aren't working on their own self-improvement journey like you are. Because if they were, honey, they would be encouraging you to improve yourself a long time ago, and they haven't. So they have shown you who they are, right? Keep your plans to yourself. So later you can come up and on top and win this stage of life. Defeat your dragon. Finally, when you learn the cheat code, you are going to do it again and again to keep leveling up. You haven't done it yet because you might have shared your plans with people that just don't get it. So leave them there. If they don't look at self-improvement videos like you do and like I do, they are not in your circle of growth, honey. And that's something that I had to realize a long time ago. I'm going to teach you the exact 90-day plan that I used to rise from the ashes of my old life. I went from being an absolute train wreck, really absolute, to being very healthy and happy and a productive person. Back when I was like 25 or 26, I was living this double life, like going to work by day and binge drinking at night. It was like terrible on my body. I was actually pretty successful in my career, but my personal life was garbage. I was going to bed at like 4 a.m. and then going to work at 8 a.m. I was hurting my body. It wasn't a sustainable way to live. Now, I don't know your life, but I know that you want to improve yourself and become better. Have you been in any kind of self-sabotaging cycle like I did? Like, leave me a comment and let me know what it was and what did you do to change it, right? You have to implement the very next step so every day you know what you need to do and you don't get lost and distracted by who's who and this one and that one. Focus on where you're going. Step number 2, change your daily routine. Yo, that's super simple. Change your daily routine. It's true. One of the first things that I started was changing my routine. I literally had to stop going out every night. I knew that if I didn't go out, then I wouldn't be tempted to drink and smoke cigarettes and stay out at all hours of the night. So I had to take myself away from those influences because I was letting it ruin my life. Now, any kind of change is super hard in the beginning, so make it easy for yourself, right? I deleted myself from groups that I was in where people were living that kind of lifestyle, and I turned off the notifications on my phone so that I wouldn't know what was going on, and therefore I didn't feel like I was missing anything. So look at your life and see what distractions you need to just turn off and delete from your daily routine, like get them out. So you have the time and the peace of mind to work on yourself. And if anybody talks smack about you behind your back, like you're lame or you're basic or you're boring, just let them. Those people don't give a damn about your self-improvement anyway, and they don't deserve your time or your energy. I mean, why would you want people that talk smack about you in your life anyway? Just push them to the side because that's where they belong. Where are we? I'm a little ADD. I can't remember much. Put them to the side because they do not deserve to be in your circle of growth. They are not growing themselves. Are you using these words, lame, loser, boring, to describe yourself? Snap out of it and realize that this is just nonsense that those nonsense people told you and people like you who didn't want to follow their standards of debauchery anymore. And that's fine. So this next step is going to help you snap out. Snap out. Sorry. So this next step is going to help you snap out of this mental trap that you found yourself in. Number 3, be kinder to yourself. Start catching that negative self-talk when it enters in your mind and lingers by the way you talk to yourself and the way you describe yourself, like online or on social media. This is really important, and I will explain to you why in just a bit. The way we talk to ourselves every day, sometimes we end up kicking ourselves in our own butt harder than other people are kicking us. And how can you attract respect or grow self-respect or build your own self-confidence when you push it away with your words? Instead of saying you're trying to be that girl, say, I'm committed to improving myself, even when it's uncomfortable. Or I'm just existing. Change that and say, I'm going to find what I'm passionate about, and I'm going to live a meaningful life. Or I'm socially awkward. This was my big one. I'm socially awkward. Okay, some situations aren't for you. That's completely fine. But say to yourself that you're going to level up your speaking skills, your people skills, and find the places that vibe with who you really are. I was super shy, trust me. I could never have spoken on camera like 10, 15 years ago, guys. Like, if I can do it, you definitely can. When you stop putting yourself down and start pulling yourself up, you get unstuck from that low place and you give yourself this upward energy to start attracting what you want. Remember, we don't attract what we want. We attract what we think about and what we feel. So if you're thinking and feeling negative stuff, that's exactly what you are attracting. Yes, it's true. Look at the last guy or girl you attracted that was completely a mess. So be kind to yourself and get your feelings and get your thoughts out of the garbage and focused on your dream self. I think when you find the confidence and the comfort out of your rebrand experience and you become an overall more positive person, that's when you truly level up, because nothing outside yourself can affect you. Nothing outside yourself will make you trash talk yourself or make you feel bad. And you will really appreciate all the work that you put into this to become a better person. And that's going to make you want to keep rebranding yourself, to keep leveling up, to keep getting better. Because how you see yourself when you rebrand is so much better. And how you see the world is so much brighter. Okay, so you're thinking, well, how do you change what you see when everything around you is crap or it's depressing or it makes you feel bad, right? Step 4 will change your universe. Number 4, identify what your self-concept is. We all have a self-concept. It is who we are. Ignore what's around you for just a minute. Ask yourself how much of who you are is really under your own control, and how much of it has been influenced by the people around you, people in your family, people at school, people at work, your colleagues, your boss, your friends. Think of your self-concept like this big basket, right? Of everything that's ever happened to you from baby to now. Every hug you've ever received, every test you've ever failed, every moment you've ever felt like anything. It's all this big collection of what you believe about yourself and what you believe about the world. Well, you formed your self-concept when you were 6 or 7 years old. When you were a child, not knowing much about the world or about anything. Our beliefs are based on our perception of what is. So think of your beliefs like glasses, right? And those are the glasses that you see the world with. So you are looking out through these pair of glasses. So if your glasses are your beliefs and you believe very negative things about yourself and about the world, you are going to see everything as negative. How does a self-concept form? Well, think about it like this. If you were treated like second best when you were a child, because maybe you had a brother or sister or a cousin that was more talented than you, and your parents gave them more attention than they did you, then you will develop this belief that maybe you're just not good enough. And you carry that belief from childhood all the way into your adulthood, and you're not even conscious of where it came from or whether it's actually true or not. And every experience that happens to you, you're going to look at it and say like, oh, that happened because I'm not good enough. And then eventually you start to reinforce that, and it becomes like this self-fulfilling prophecy where you just give up. You don't work hard at certain things because you believe, well, I'm just not good enough. That's just not for me. This same cycle applies to anything. It applies to insecure people. It applies to successful people. Self-concept can be a negative or it can be a positive. It really just boils down to what you believe about yourself. I mean, isn't that crazy? And we walk around life thinking that these things are true when really, spoiler alert, they're not. We can change it. And we're going to change this right now. Therefore, it's up to you to interrupt this cycle and change it to something that helps you get closer and become your ideal self. Number 5, we're going to recreate what you want to become. Only you know the truth about yourself, and your reality is just an extension of what you believe about yourself. Everything will start to shift the moment you understand this. Your perception of reality, like how you see life, is simply a projection of your self-concept. Your entire reality hangs on to what you believe about yourself and about the world. So really zone in on your dream life. The great qualities about yourself that you have, the skills that you've learned, the things that you've done, who you've become, and how you feel about yourself. Block out everything around you that isn't about you becoming your ideal self, and visualize as best as you can, because your reality this year depends on the vision of your ideal self. You're going to use this vision as a filter to weed out anything that is nonsense, that is gossip, that you might hear. And you're going to use it to mute any haters that have a flawed vision of who you are. None of that outside noise and outside nonsense is about what you're creating. Your one job this year is to focus on your ideal self, because you are the only author in your life. Only you gets to write your own biography. This will keep you focused and apply all of your energy into creating your ideal self-identity. Your mindset will start to change. The way you talk to yourself will improve. The way you see yourself and your life will get more positive. This happened to me, guys. I'm not making this up. And it's happened to so many other people too. Just look and talk to people who've actually gone from being in the gutters and changing their lives. The more you focus on your ideal self, the more you're going to create this new cycle of thought, this new cycle of beliefs, and your self-concept is going to change. It will move from where it is now and gradually turn into something really positive and helpful in your life, because you will start to see yourself as really positive and empowering. And this is great because that is exactly what you want. You want to be better than your past self. That's why they say be delusional, because you have to ignore what's right in front of you. What's right in front of you is not going to change if you don't change yourself. It starts in here. The change starts in your mind. So paint a bigger and better picture of your ideal self, whether it's a better body, more money, more self-confidence. When you believe that you are deserving of happiness, you will naturally start to pick people and places that create more joy and happiness in your life. And you will stop putting up with losers and loser behavior, because that wouldn't make sense for you anymore. The only reason that you didn't achieve your dream life yet is because you have been putting up with loser behavior and loser thoughts about yourself, because you haven't changed your mind and your heart into who you are becoming. It's that simple, but it's an everyday process to achieve it. So sit for 10 minutes in the morning and 10 minutes at night and really visualize your ideal self. Abraham Hicks might be crazy, but let me tell you, it works. It's worked for me. It's worked for so many other people, visualization. It's why I am no longer a train wreck. It's how I made a nice life for myself, how I attracted a beautiful, loving partner, how I actually built a business that did well when I had a business. I'm building a new one now. It's how I have the confidence to sit here and talk to you. But none of this motivational gab is going to help you if you do not create the daily actions and stick to it yourself, okay? So set your big goal for this year to move closer to becoming your ideal self. So watch this video right over here, how to rebrand your identity in 2020.